The United Alliance Academy floated above the cloud-covered planet of Nivara, a shining hub of interstellar learning where cadets from dozens of planets trained to become defenders of the galaxy. Its sleek towers glimmered under the twin suns, and enormous transport ships hovered like birds ready to take flight. Inside, the corridors buzzed with life. Aliens of every shape, size, and color moved in perfect order, while the hum of energy fields and distant machinery created a constant undercurrent of sound. Among the many cadets, one stood out, not because of her height or armor, but because she was human. Mira Dalton, age 19, had a determined look on her face as she adjusted her uniform. It was standard Academy issue, lightweight, reinforced against minor energy blasts, with a display panel on her wrist for mission data. But she knew that to most of the alien cadets it made no difference. Humans were still newcomers in the Galactic Defense Force. Most believed they were fragile, weak, and ill-suited for real combat. As Mira walked toward the training hall, alien, cadets whispered behind her back. Some snorted, others chuckled openly. "Look, it's the human," said a tall insectoid cadet named Vrix. His limbs clicked softly as he moved. "Do you really think she can handle advanced combat training?" Another cadet, a sleek, silver-skinned being named Leora, shook her head. "She'll last 5 minutes in the Omega Battle Sim, if she's lucky." Mira heard them, of course, but she didn't respond. Humans learned early not to waste energy arguing with beings who already made assumptions. She focused instead on controlling her breathing and preparing mentally. She had trained for this moment her entire life. Not because anyone expected her to succeed, but because she refused to fail. The Omega Battle Sim was legendary across the Academy. It was a virtual arena, a high-level simulation designed to test cadets against scenarios that no real training field could match. Holographic war machines, deadly energy traps, and unpredictable environments challenged even the most seasoned cadets. The simulation's purpose was clear. Only the strongest and smartest could survive. Mira entered the hall, and the room fell silent. Her footsteps echoed across the polished floor as she approached the instructor's platform. A panel displayed her assignment: Omega Battle Sim, Solo Test, No Weapons. The word struck her for only a second. No weapons. That meant she would face the full challenge with nothing but her mind, body, and instincts. The alien instructors had set this test intentionally to humiliate her. They wanted a human to fail spectacularly. Mira's lips pressed into a thin line, but she didn't flinch. She had anticipated this. "Cadet Dalton," said Instructor Kale, a stern reptilian being with amber eyes that seemed to pierce through layers of thought. "You will enter the Omega Battle Sim immediately. Your objective: survive and neutralize. All threats, you have 10 minutes, no weapons will be provided, failure is expected." Mira simply nodded. She had no words for arrogance that masked itself as authority. As the doors to the arena slid open, a brilliant light washed over her. The simulation chamber was enormous, stretching farther than the eye could see. Energy walls shimmered, and the ground beneath her feet vibrated softly, powered by advanced gravitational fields. The audience deck above was filled with alien cadets, all watching through transparent panels. Some leaned forward, eager to see a human fail. Others looked, skeptical, curiosity tinged with doubt. Mira took a deep breath. She closed her eyes for a brief moment, visualizing the arena's layout and the likely positions of the war machines she would face. Years of studying patterns, physics, and human tactics came together now. Humans had a reputation for adaptability, for thinking differently, and Mira intended to prove it. The arena pulsed, and suddenly 10 massive war machines appeared. They hovered above the ground, each a combination of metal and energy shields, with glowing weapon ports capable of firing plasma lasers and force blasts. They moved silently at first, scanning the arena with precise, coordinated intelligence. The alien cadets above gasped in anticipation. "This is impossible," whispered Vrix. "She can't survive this." Mira's eyes narrowed. She studied the machines carefully. She noted the sequence of their movements, the timing of their energy pulses, the patterns in which they overlapped. Each machine moved predictably, yet in combination they were deadly. Many would have panicked, but Mira didn't. Instead, she began moving, slowly at first, testing the reactions of the machines. A burst of plasma came from one, slicing through the air where she had been standing a second before. She rolled gracefully and felt the vibration through the floor. Her heart raced, not with fear but with the thrill of the challenge. She realized immediately that fighting directly would be foolish. These machines were built to destroy anything that approached them head-on. Instead, she decided to use her advantage, her size, speed, and most importantly, her mind. Mira ran along the edge of the arena, weaving through energy traps and anticipating the machine's attacks. She lured one toward a wall, then sidestepped just in time. The machine collided with another, triggering a minor explosion. A ripple of surprise ran through the audience deck. "She's using them against each other?" Leora whispered, her silver eyes wide. No human could think this fast. Mira moved with a calm precision, each step calculated, each movement deliberate. She felt the energy in the arena, the way the war machines reacted, the vibrations of their engines. To anyone watching, it might have looked like chaos, but to her, it was a puzzle she was solving piece by piece. Minutes passed, or perhaps only seconds. Time in the simulation moved strangely, stretching and contracting as her focus sharpened. One by one, she began forcing the machines into collisions, tricking them into energy traps and creating confusion among the remaining opponents. From the audience deck, instructors murmured in disbelief. "She's surviving without a single weapon." Mira's breathing remained steady. She didn't think of herself as special. She thought of herself as human, and humans had always found ways to survive against impossible odds. From history books, from stories passed down through generations, she knew the strength of strategy, misdirection, and patience. She had no cannon, no blaster, no shield, yet she had something far more valuable, a mind that refused to surrender. Then, as the first wave of machines began to malfunction and collide, Mira felt a surge of confidence. The simulation was responding to her tactics. The impossible was becoming possible. The alien cadets above, who had laughed moments ago, now leaned forward, eyes wide with astonishment. She's making them destroy themselves," Fricks muttered, barely believing what he saw. Mira's thoughts were clear and fast. She didn't allow pride to cloud her judgment. Every step, every dodge, every calculation was part of a larger plan. She didn't need to fight like the aliens expected. She needed to survive smarter than any machine could predict. The instructors exchanged uneasy glances. This human cadet was rewriting what they thought possible. 10 minutes seemed like a lifetime in the Omega battle sim, yet Mira had already survived almost 2. She slowed for a moment, observing the patterns of the remaining machines. Her mind worked quickly. How could she make the final machine, the Juggernaut, misstep? How could she force it to act against its programming without touching a single weapon? The solution came naturally, as if it had been inside her all along. She would turn the arena itself into a weapon. She would force the machine to destroy itself. But that was a moment for later. For now, she simply needed to survive, to prove that humans were unpredictable, adaptable, and capable of triumphing, where others assumed they would fail. As she moved forward, weaving between energy traps and dodging the machine's relentless attacks, she felt a quiet thrill. Not of arrogance, but of purpose. Every alien watching above believed humans were weak. Every step she took was proof to the galaxy that they were wrong. And thus, the human cadet moved deeper into the Omega battle sim, calm, focused, and ready. The stage was set. The impossible had just begun. And Mira Dalton was ready to show the galaxy that even without weapons, humans could find victory in the most unlikely ways. The Omega battle. Sim hummed with energy as Mira Dalton continued to move through the arena. The 10 towering war machines had surrounded her moments ago, each one designed by alien engineers to be flawless and deadly. But Mira had already discovered their weakness, not in their armor or weapons, but in the predictability of their patterns. Each machine followed strict rules, responding to the arena in ways their creators had not fully anticipated. The arena itself was enormous. Energy walls glowed with shifting colors, and the floor beneath Mira's feet pulsed with subtle vibrations, powered by the simulation's artificial gravity. Holographic hazards appeared without warning: energy spikes, laser grids, and collapsing platforms. But Mira's focus never wavered. She had trained her mind to observe patterns, to anticipate movement, and to react faster than anyone thought possible. The first machine, a four-legged titan covered in shining metal plates, lunged forward with its plasma cannon raised. Mira rolled under a sweeping beam and darted to the side. The machine overextended, causing one of its legs to strike a pressure plate. Sparks flew, and the machine stumbled, colliding into another. The second machine toppled over, sending a shower of sparks into the air. From the observation deck, alien cadets gasped. Leora's silver eyes widened. She's not just surviving, she's controlling the battlefield. Mira didn't stop to watch. She moved with precision, analyzing the energy flow of the arena. Every wall, every trap, every machine's motion became part of her calculation. She realized that if she could manipulate the machines into interacting with the environment, she could defeat them without ever touching a weapon. Humans were not supposed to win this way, but Mira had never followed the expectations of others. The arena shifted suddenly. A series of laser grids descended from the ceiling and energy spikes emerged from the floor. The remaining machines reacted instantly, adjusting their movements with mechanical efficiency. Mira watched carefully, noticing a pattern. The machines always prioritized immediate threats over long-term strategy. They lacked improvisation, and that was her advantage. She sprinted toward a series of energy platforms that moved in a circular pattern. One of the machines followed, calculating that it could corner her. But Mira anticipated its trajectory. At the last second, she leapt to a higher platform just out of reach. The machine crashed into the edge of the platform below, triggering a small explosion. Its sensors momentarily failed, and it spun in confusion. Mira used the moment to guide another machine into the trap, causing a chain reaction. Sparks flew, and a loud metallic crash echoed across the arena. Two machines were already disabled, and the audience deck was silent with disbelief. Humans were not supposed to think this way. They were not supposed to win against the Omega Sim in such a methodical, intelligent manner. Mira's mind worked quickly. The remaining machines were faster, stronger, and equipped with more advanced weaponry. Yet she noticed that each machine reacted based on algorithms that prioritized efficiency over adaptability. Humans, on the other hand, could improvise. They could think in unexpected ways. That unpredictability was her greatest weapon. She led a machine toward a collapsing bridge section. With careful timing, she ran along the edge, and the machine followed. At the exact moment, she triggered a panel with her foot, causing the bridge to collapse. The machine fell, its systems sparking violently as it struggled to recover. Another machine moved too close and was caught in the debris, immobilized. The alien cadets leaned forward, their faces filled with shock. "How is she doing this?" Vrix muttered, his mandibles clicking nervously. No human should be capable of manipulating the simulation like this. Mira ignored the comments above. She was focused on the next stage. Only a few machines remained, and one of them was the Juggernaut, the largest and most formidable of all. Its armor was nearly indestructible, and its energy weapons could destroy a wall in a single shot. Most cadets had failed to survive even a minute against it. Yet Mira's mind remained calm. She studied the Juggernaut's pattern. Unlike the smaller machines, it moved slowly but deliberately, scanning for any potential threats. It relied on sheer strength and precision. That was its weakness. Strength could be manipulated and precision could be misled. Mira planned her approach carefully. Using the arena's shifting platforms, she created a series of obstacles in the Juggernaut's path. She timed her movements so that the machine would follow her into areas where the floor was unstable. Each step of the Juggernaut caused minor collapses, weakening the arena structure and limiting its mobility. One of the smaller machines attempted to intercept her, but she guided it into the collapsing section first. Sparks and debris flew, temporarily blinding the Juggernaut's sensors. Mira ran toward the center of the arena, leading the massive machine into a section she had noted earlier. a series of energy pits designed to immobilize anything heavy. The Juggernaut paused, calculating the safest route, but Mira's movements left it no choice. Step by step it moved forward, following her exactly. As it crossed the energy pits, its massive weight caused the floor to tremble. A crack formed beneath its feet, spreading quickly. The observation deck erupted into murmurs. Even the instructors were visibly tense. Mira was performing the impossible. She was not just surviving. She was dominating the simulation without firing a single shot. Mira's focus never wavered. She adjusted her speed, her trajectory, and her timing with perfect precision. Every step she took guided the remaining machines into positions where they would collide, stumble, or trigger traps. It was a delicate dance. One wrong move could mean her defeat. Yet she moved with confidence, trusting her instincts and her understanding of human strategy. Minutes felt like hours, but Mira's mind remained sharp. She thought of human history, of battles where strategy and cunning had overcome brute force. Humans had always found ways to adapt, to survive, and to outthink opponents who relied solely on strength. This was no different. The arena was her battlefield. The machines were her opponents, and her greatest weapon was her mind. The Juggernaut moved closer to the energy pit, unaware of the trap beneath it. Mira paused for a moment, calculating the final sequence. She needed the machine to step exactly where she wanted it, and she needed to guide the smaller machine to block its retreat. Every element had to align perfectly. With careful precision, she sprinted toward the pit. The Juggernaut followed, unable to deviate from her movements. Mira leapt to the side, triggering a panel with her foot that activated the pit's energy field. The massive machine teetered, its sensors blaring warnings, but it could not stop. Its weight caused the floor to collapse beneath it, and it fell into the glowing energy pit with a thunderous crash. Silence filled the arena for a moment. Then the simulation screen flashed. Simulation status active. Remaining machines. 2. The alien cadets were stunned. Mira had outsmarted the Juggernaut in less than 2 minutes. She had done the impossible, defeated the most powerful machine in the simulation without using any weapons at all. From the observation deck, Leora whispered, She's a genius. No human should be able to do that." Mira did not smile or celebrate. She knew the battle was not over. 2 machines remained, still dangerous, still capable of ending her run. But the momentum was hers. The arena had revealed its weaknesses, and Mira had learned its patterns. Every move from this point forward would be calculated, deliberate, and precise. She circled the remaining machines, studying their movements carefully. One of them began firing energy pulses at her, but she anticipated the timing. She dodged, rolling along a low-energy field, and used the machine's own trajectory against it. Sparks flew as it collided with the arena wall, temporarily disabling its weapons. The final machine scanned the arena, confused by the destruction around it. Mira smiled faintly. This was where her human advantage became most clear. While the machines relied on predictable algorithms, she could improvise, adapt, and manipulate them in ways no one had expected. Mira sprinted toward a section of the arena she had marked earlier. The machine followed, but she led it into a trap of her own making. A series of energy barriers activated, forcing the machine to adjust its path repeatedly. Each movement caused it to stumble slightly, weakening its balance and making it vulnerable. From above, alien cadets watched in disbelief. "She's not just surviving," Frick said, his voice trembling. "She's controlling the simulation itself." Mira's mind was calm, focused, and unshakable. She knew that victory was within reach. All she had to do was guide the remaining machine into the final trap, and the Omega Battle Sim would be hers. The arena hummed, the war machines moved, and Mira Dalton, the human cadet, continued to prove that humans could triumph in ways no one had expected. The arena was alive with energy, sparks flying from the wreckage of the fallen machines. Mira Dalton's breath was steady, her mind sharp. Only 2 machines remained. The Juggernaut had been defeated, its massive weight swallowed by the energy pit. The smaller war machines, sleek and fast, circled her with mechanical precision. Every step they took echoed in the enormous chamber, yet Mira moved with a calm confidence that unsettled even the alien observers. From the observation deck, cadets leaned forward, unable to look away. Leora's silver eyes tracked every movement. She's controlling them, she whispered. Vrix's mandibles clicked nervously. It's impossible for a human to think like this. Mira ignored their murmurs. She focused entirely on the two remaining machines, noting their speed, their response patterns, and the way their sensors scanned the arena. They were powerful, but she saw flaws. Small flaws. Almost invisible, but flaws nonetheless. Humans excelled at noticing these imperfections. Humans excelled at improvisation. That was her edge. The first machine lunged. Its energy cannon glowed bright as it fired. Mira rolled under the blast and landed behind a low-energy barrier. Sparks flew where the beam hit the floor. The machine adjusted its trajectory, but Mira had anticipated it. She had memorized every second of the machine's pattern and knew exactly where it would go next. She darted forward, weaving between collapsing platforms and energy traps. Instead of attacking, she guided the machine into a precarious position. Its sensors blared, but it was trapped by the arena's shifting floor. Mira's calculations were perfect. Every movement forced the machine into its own vulnerability. The second machine, faster and smaller, tried to flank her. Its design was meant for agility and surprise attacks, but Mira's eyes were sharper. She led it toward a series of platforms she had noticed earlier, thin panels that could not bear the weight of a machine for long. Timing each step perfectly, she ran along the edge, causing the panels to collapse under the machine's weight. It toppled, sparking and sliding across the arena floor. The audience deck was silent in astonishment. Humans were not supposed to achieve this level of control in the Omega battle sim. They relied on intelligence, but intelligence alone had rarely been enough to outmaneuver alien war machines. Mira was proving them wrong. Her mind raced. Every human strategy she had ever studied, ambush, misdirection, improvisation, was coming into play. The machines were powerful, yes, but rigid. They could not adapt quickly to unexpected tactics. Mira, on the other hand, could see several moves ahead, predicting each reaction and exploiting it flawlessly. One of the machines recovered and advanced again, firing a sequence of plasma bolts. Mira dodged with agile precision, using a wall to vault over it. She twisted in midair and landed on a raised platform, just as the machine's energy bolt struck where she had been a heartbeat earlier. Sparks cascaded down around her, lighting the arena like fireworks. She smiled faintly. Her plan was working. She was turning the arena into a weapon, forcing the machines to destroy themselves or become trapped. Mira noticed a small gap in the machine's coordination, a brief delay between their sensors and their reactions. That was all she needed. She ran toward a series of energy conduits, guiding the remaining machines into a narrow corridor. As they followed, their size and speed worked against them. One machine slammed into the wall while the other skidded across a collapsing floor panel, spinning helplessly. From the observation deck, the instructors were exchanging tense glances. Mira had reached a level of skill no cadet, alien or human, had ever shown. Some whispered quietly, almost afraid to speak. "She's beyond what we anticipated," one said. Mira did not celebrate. Her focus remained unbroken. There was one final challenge, the Juggernaut's smaller counterpart, a heavily armored machine that had been designed as the simulation's ultimate test for speed and strength combined. Its energy cannons glowed with lethal intensity. Its sensors scanned the arena relentlessly. It was intelligent, calculated, and ready to strike. But Mira had studied it too. She had noticed a pattern in its speed bursts and a delay in its recalibration after each rapid attack. It was fast, but it could be manipulated. Humans excelled in thinking ahead, anticipating danger, and using their environment creatively. That was the human edge. She sprinted toward a series of platforms above a glowing energy pit. The machine followed, calculating its path to intercept her. Mira timed her movement perfectly, stepping on a panel that triggered a shift in the arena's energy field. A wall rose, forcing the machine to change direction abruptly. Sparks erupted as it collided with a metal panel. The force sent it sliding toward the pit. The observation deck erupted in gasps. Leora's jaw dropped. "She's doing it again. She's making it fight itself," Mira continued, keeping her movements smooth and deliberate. She knew every second counted. Each action had to be precise. Each decision flawless. Humans had survived countless battles throughout history not by brute force alone, but by using intelligence, ingenuity, and strategy. That was what she relied on now. The smaller machine attempted one final attack, firing rapid energy pulses at Mira. She rolled along the floor, using a low barrier as cover, then darted upward to a raised platform. The machine followed but misjudged the distance. Its weight caused a section of the platform to collapse, sending it crashing onto a lower level. Sparks flew in every direction. Mira's pulse remained steady. She had guided both machines into positions where they were vulnerable, where their own power became their weakness. Humans were adaptable. Humans were unpredictable. Humans could succeed where others failed. That truth was becoming undeniable to everyone watching. The Juggernaut's smaller counterpart recovered and advanced again. Mira didn't flinch. She noticed a pattern in its movement, a subtle hesitation before each strike. That hesitation, tiny and almost imperceptible, was all she needed. She ran toward a series of energy conduits along the arena wall. The machine followed, calculating its path, but Mira was ready. She timed her steps to trigger a series of panels that shifted under the machine's weight. Sparks flew, floors collapsed, and the machine stumbled. Each step it took caused minor damage, weakening its systems and leaving it open to further manipulation. The alien cadets above could hardly believe their eyes. "No human should be capable of doing this," Vrix muttered, his mandibles clacking nervously. "She's controlling the simulation itself." Mira's mind remained calm. She didn't see herself as exceptional. She saw herself as human. Humans had survived impossible odds for centuries. They had overcome stronger opponents, harsher environments, and far more dangerous situations than this. The Omega battle sim was only a test, but it was a test that revealed her species' greatest strength: the ability to think, adapt, and turn even disadvantage into victory. With careful timing, Mira guided the remaining machine toward the edge of the energy pit, the same pit that had consumed the Juggernaut. She sprinted past it, leading the machine forward. It followed, unaware of the danger beneath its feet. At the final moment, she triggered a panel with her foot. The floor beneath the machine gave way, sending it tumbling into the glowing pit. Sparks and energy arcs shot into the air as the machine's systems failed. The Omega battle sim flashed a message across the arena. Simulation status: cleared. Remaining machines: 0. Time: 2 minutes, 03 seconds. Silence fell. The alien cadets were stunned. Not only had Mira survived, but she had also defeated all the machines without using any weapons. She had done it faster than anyone ever had, using nothing but her mind, agility, and understanding of patterns. From the observation deck, Leora whispered, awed, She's a genius. No human should be able to do that." Vrix's mandibles clicked nervously. "We underestimated them. Every single time." Mira stepped back, breathing evenly, her eyes calm. She didn't boast. She didn't need to. Her victory spoke for itself. Humans did not always rely on strength or weapons. They relied on intelligence, strategy, and the ability to see opportunities where others saw only danger. The instructors on the observation deck exchanged glances. Instructor Kale, the reptilian who had assigned the test, leaned forward. "Remarkable," he said quietly. "She has done what no cadet of any species has done before. She has triumphed without firing a single shot." Mira didn't respond. She simply adjusted her uniform and waited for the simulation to end. The Omega battle sim had been designed to test strength, speed, and firepower. But she had proven that the human mind was its own weapon. The alien cadets, once mocking, now looked at her with newfound respect. Some approached cautiously, curious to understand how she had achieved the impossible. Mira simply smiled faintly, knowing that she had not only survived the simulation, but had also demonstrated the true human edge, intelligence, creativity, and adaptability. The arena quieted, leaving only the soft hum of energy and the faint glow of the defeated machines. Mira Dalton had survived the impossible, and the galaxy had begun to see humans in a new light. The Omega Battle Sim had been designed to break cadets, but instead, it revealed a truth that no one could ignore. Humans were unpredictable, resourceful, and capable of triumph in ways that machines and even aliens could not fully comprehend. The arena was quiet now, the sparks from fallen machines fading into the glowing energy floor. Mira Dalton stood alone, her chest rising and falling steadily. Only one challenge remained. The Juggernaut, the largest, most formidable war machine in the simulation, had been rebuilt for this final stage. Its massive frame glimmered under the energy lights, shields pulsing, weapons glowing like twin suns ready to strike. The alien cadets above leaned forward, a mixture of fear and awe in their eyes. None of them had ever faced the Juggernaut in full power. Many had failed to survive even a single round. Yet Mira remained calm. The humans' greatest strength, she knew, was their ability to think differently, to see solutions no one else could. From the observation deck, Instructor Kale's amber eyes narrowed. "If anyone can survive this, it is the human," he muttered quietly. "But it will require more than skill. It will require instinct." The Juggernaut advanced. Its massive legs shook the floor with each step, energy beams arcing from its weapons. Mira studied its movement carefully. Unlike the smaller machines, it was slow and deliberate, calculating each action with precision. That precision, however, made it predictable. Mira could see its patterns, anticipate its next moves, and turn its strength against itself. She began moving, not in fear, but with purpose. Every step was calculated, every shift deliberate. She dodged a sweeping energy beam and darted behind, a low barrier, using it as cover. The Juggernaut paused, scanning, its sensors glowing as it tried to locate her. Mira smiled faintly. This was exactly what she wanted. Humans were not meant to overpower machines. They were meant to outthink them. She ran toward a series of collapsing platforms near the center of the arena. The Juggernaut followed, each step shaking the energy panels beneath its weight. Mira anticipated the sequence perfectly. With a small jump, she landed on a raised platform, triggering a hidden panel with her foot. Sparks erupted, and a section of the arena floor beneath the Juggernaut began to collapse. The machine tilted slightly, momentarily destabilized. Mira didn't waste the opportunity. She guided it with subtle movements, using her own position as bait. Step by step, she led it toward an energy pit she had studied earlier, a glowing section of the floor designed to immobilize the heaviest of machines. The Juggernaut's weapons fired relentlessly, trying to strike her. She dodged with agility, leaping over low barriers and spinning past energy fields. Each attack it launched was anticipated, each movement exploited. Humans were unpredictable. That unpredictability was her edge. From the observation deck, alien cadets gasped. Leora whispered, She's making it destroy itself." Vrix's mandibles clicked nervously. No human should be able to control it like this. Mira's mind raced. She remembered the stories of human soldiers who had survived impossible odds on faraway battlefields. Guerrilla tactics, ambush strategies, and improvisation were ingrained in human history. She applied them instinctively, turning the arena into her weapon, the machines into tools of their own destruction. The Juggernaut advanced closer to the energy pit. Mira ran alongside it, timing her steps perfectly. One wrong move and the machine's immense weight could crush her, or worse. But Mira's calculations were precise. She had already predicted how the floor would give way, how the machine would overextend, how it would stumble. She leapt to the side at the last moment, The juggernaut's massive legs hit the edge of the pit. The floor collapsed beneath it with a thunderous roar. Sparks and energy arcs shot upward as the machine tilted, struggled, and then fell completely into the glowing pit. Silence filled the arena for a brief moment. Then the simulation screen flashed. Simulation completed. Time: 2 minutes, 03 seconds. The alien cadets froze. The Omega Battle Sim had been designed to test the limits of every cadet. No one, no human, no alien, had ever cleared it so quickly, let alone without using a single weapon. Instructor Kale leaned back, his expression unreadable. "Remarkable," he said quietly. "She has done what we never thought possible. She has triumphed without firing a single shot." Mira took a deep breath. Her heart was calm. She did not raise her arms. She did not shout in triumph. Her victory was quiet, precise, and undeniable. Humans did not need weapons to win. They used intelligence, strategy, and adaptability to survive and overcome. From above, the alien cadets slowly began to react. Some stared in disbelief. Others approached. Cautiously, curiosity and respect replacing their earlier mockery, Leora's eyes were wide. She actually did it," she whispered. "No weapons, no strength, just thinking." Vrix clicked his mandibles nervously. We underestimated humans," he admitted. "Completely." Mira stepped away from the pit, adjusting her uniform. Her breathing was steady. She did not boast. She did not need to. Her actions spoke for themselves. Humans had always been underestimated, but their greatest strength was never measured in size or firepower. It was measured in intelligence, creativity, and the ability to adapt to any situation. The arena lights dimmed, signaling the end of the simulation. The massive chamber quieted, leaving only the faint hum of energy and the soft glow of the defeated machines. Mira walked toward the exit, her movements calm and deliberate. Every cadet who had watched her now understood something new about humans. They were unpredictable, resourceful, and capable of triumphing in ways no one expected. On the observation deck, Instructor Kale addressed the cadets. "Take note," he said, his voice steady. "Cadet Dalton has demonstrated the human edge. Strength is not always in firepower. Intelligence, creativity, and adaptability can overcome even the most formidable opponents." Mira emerged from the arena, calm and composed. Alien cadets approached her, some with questions, some with admiration. She answered simply, without arrogance. "Humans don't need weapons to win. We use what we have, our minds, our instincts, our ability to adapt." Her words resonated. Across the academy, a new understanding began to form. Humans were not just survivors. They were innovators, thinkers, and strategists. They could outsmart even the most advanced machines and outmaneuver the expectations of alien observers. In the training halls, whispers spread quickly. "She cleared the Omega Battle Sim in 2 minutes," one cadet said in awe, "and she didn't even use weapons." "She's showing what humans are capable of," another replied. "They're dangerous, in ways we can't predict." Mira walked through the corridors unnoticed by some, admired by others. She did not seek recognition. Her goal was not to prove herself to the aliens. It was to show that humans could thrive, adapt, and excel even when underestimated. Later, in the Academy Council chamber, the instructors discussed her performance. "She has changed our understanding of human capability," said Kale. "We can no longer underestimate them. Their adaptability, creativity, and intelligence are unmatched in certain areas. Mira Dalton has demonstrated that humans may not only belong in the Alliance, they may become its strategic backbone." Mira returned to her quarters, exhausted but calm. She reflected on the simulation and its outcome. The Omega Battle Sim had been designed to test strength, speed, and firepower, but she had proven that humans had a different weapon: the mind. The human mind could see solutions where others saw only danger. It could turn weakness into strength, and unpredictability into victory. Her thoughts drifted to her fellow cadets, both human and alien. She hoped they would learn from her experience, that they would understand the value of strategy and ingenuity. She knew the galaxy would never see humans the same way again. That night, Mira looked out from her window at the twin suns setting, over Nivara. The light reflected off the Academy's towers, casting long shadows across the training grounds. She thought of the journey ahead, the missions, the battles, and the challenges that would come. She was ready. Humans had always thrived in adversity, and she was living proof of that legacy. Somewhere in the observation deck, Leora spoke softly. Humans. We thought they were weak. We were wrong. Terribly wrong. Vrix clicked his mandibles, silent, for once lost in thought. He had seen what no one expected, a human triumph without relying on weapons or brute strength, and that realization would stay with him forever. Mira's story in the Omega Battle Sim was now legend. She had triumphed against impossible odds, outsmarted machines designed to be unbeatable, and done so in record time. More importantly, she had shown the galaxy the human edge, intelligence, adaptability, and the ability to turn expectation into opportunity. The Omega Battle Sim had tested her, and she had won, not through force, not through weapons, but through the brilliance and resourcefulness that made humans capable of achieving the impossible. The Omega Battle Sim chamber was silent, except for the soft hum of energy fields and the faint crackle of sparks from destroyed war machines. Mira Dalton stepped out from the arena, her uniform slightly dusted with the residue of the simulation, her movements calm and composed. The glow of the twin suns of Nivara reflected in her eyes, steady and confident. She had done what no other cadet, human or alien, had achieved. She had completed the impossible simulation in record time without using a single weapon. The Academy's observation deck, once filled with skepticism and mockery, was now alive with quiet awe. Alien cadets whispered among themselves, trying to process what they had just witnessed. Some approached cautiously, curiosity and respect replacing the ridicule they had once felt. Leora, silver-skinned and still wide-eyed, stepped forward. "Cadet Dalton, I don't know what to say," she admitted. That was unbelievable." Mira smiled faintly, not with arrogance, but with quiet satisfaction. "I only used what I had," she said simply. "Humans don't always rely on weapons. We use our minds, our instincts, and our ability to adapt." A hush fell over the room. The words carried more weight than any display of force ever could. For centuries, humans had been underestimated, considered weak by stronger, faster, or larger species. Yet here was one of their own, demonstrating the human edge in its purest form: intelligence, strategy, and courage. Vrix, the tall insectoid cadet who had mocked her earlier, clicked his mandibles nervously. We misjudged you," he admitted. "Completely. Humans. We underestimated them at every turn." Instructor Kale, his amber eyes glowing faintly, stepped forward. "Cadet Dalton," he said, voice steady and serious, "your performance today has not only exceeded all expectations, it has rewritten our understanding of human capability. Your strategy, timing, and adaptability are exemplary. You have demonstrated that humans are not simply participants in the alliance. They are innovators, leaders, and strategic forces in their own right." Mira nodded, grateful for the acknowledgement, but not seeking praise. She knew her victory was not about proving herself to the aliens. It was about proving what humans were truly capable of. Strength could be measured, weapons could be counted, but ingenuity, creativity, and adaptability were qualities that no machine or algorithm could fully predict. The cadets began approaching her, some hesitantly, some with admiration. Questions followed: how she had anticipated the machine's moves, how she had used the arena itself as a weapon, how she had maintained such calm under pressure. Mira answered each question with clarity, explaining not her skill alone, but the reasoning behind it. "I studied their patterns," she said simply. "I observed their timing, their reactions, and their limitations. I didn't need weapons because the arena itself became a tool. The machines were powerful but predictable. Humans excel at finding solutions where others see only obstacles. Alien cadets listened carefully. Slowly, a change began to take place. Skepticism gave way to understanding. Mockery turned into admiration. A few even nodded in respect. Mira realized that she was not just proving herself, she was changing perceptions. For the first time, many of these cadets saw humans not as fragile newcomers, but as a species capable of brilliance and innovation. Later, the Academy Council convened to review the simulation. Holographic projections displayed Mira's movements, her timing, and her strategy in precise detail. Instructors and senior cadets analyzed every decision she had made, every step she had taken, and every subtle manipulation of the arena's systems. One council member, a tall, serpentine alien with multiple eyes, spoke thoughtfully. "This performance is unprecedented. Cadet Dalton has not only survived but has dominated the Omega battle sim in ways previously thought impossible. Humans, they are far more capable than we ever assumed." Kale nodded. Her actions today prove a simple truth. Humans are adaptable, creative, and strategic. They can turn disadvantage into advantage and thrive in conditions that would challenge even the most advanced species. This must inform all future training and mission planning within the Alliance. Mira, standing quietly in the corner, listened. She did not feel pride, instead she felt responsibility. She understood that her success was not hers alone. It represented the potential of every human cadet who would follow in her footsteps. Every alien who had doubted her would now have to reconsider the human role in the galaxy. The next day, in the Academy's training hall, whispers of Mira's triumph spread quickly. Human cadets smiled as they passed her, inspired by her achievement. Alien cadets approached cautiously, asking for tips, strategies, and insights. Respect replaced doubt, and curiosity replaced mockery. A small group of cadets, younger and still learning, gathered around Mira. "Cadet Dalton," one asked eagerly, "how did you stay so calm under pressure?" Mira looked at them, her expression calm but encouraging. "You focus on what you can control," she explained. "Study the situation, anticipate the moves, and never let fear make your decisions for you. Humans have survived impossible odds for centuries because we adapt, we learn, and we remain calm when others panic. That's what gives us strength." Her words resonated. Humans had always been underestimated, but here, in a room full of cadets from dozens of planets, Mira had shown that human ingenuity and resilience were undeniable. Instructors also took note. Training protocols were being reconsidered. Strategies were being revised. Humans were no longer just participants. They were now recognized as a species whose strength lay not in size, speed, or weaponry, but in intelligence, creativity, and unpredictability. Mira's achievement quickly became a story told across the Academy. Holographic recordings of her movements through the Omega battle sim were shared as examples of perfect strategy and timing. Cadets studied her path, analyzed her decisions, and learned the principles behind her success. She became a symbol, not for arrogance or pride, but for the human spirit, the ability to adapt, survive, and triumph against overwhelming odds. Weeks. Later, Mira stood on a balcony overlooking the Academy grounds. The twin suns of Nivara were setting, casting a warm glow over the city below. She reflected on the simulation, on the lessons she had learned, and on the subtle yet profound shift she had caused. Humans were no longer underestimated. Their uniqueness was now recognized, their potential acknowledged. From somewhere in the training grounds below, a group of alien cadets whispered, "She's human, and yet she's more capable than any of us expected. We misjudged them." Mira smiled faintly to herself. That was enough. She did not need accolades, medals, or titles. She had done what mattered. She had changed perceptions, proven the human edge, and inspired a new generation to embrace intelligence, adaptability, and courage. Back in her quarters, Mira prepared for the next day's training. She knew the journey ahead would not be easy. Challenges would come, missions would test her limits, and new opponents would emerge. But she was ready. Humans had always thrived in adversity. They had survived harsh worlds, impossible odds, and battles that others thought unwinnable. Mira Dalton was just the beginning. The Omega Battle Sim had tested her body, her mind, and her spirit. She had emerged victorious, not through weapons, not through brute force, but through the qualities that defined humanity: resourcefulness, ingenuity, and resilience. And in doing so, she had ensured that the galaxy would never again underestimate humans. In the weeks that followed, humans began to earn a new reputation across the Alliance. Cadets from other species sought to learn from them, allies relied on their strategies, and enemies learned to respect their unpredictability. Mira's victory had set the stage for a new era, an era in which humans were not just survivors. They were innovators, leaders, and a species whose edge lay in the mind as much as in the body. As night fell over the Academy, Mira gazed at the stars above. She felt a quiet pride, not for herself, but for humanity. The Omega Battle Sim had been a single challenge, a single test, but it had shown what humans were capable of. It had proven that even in a galaxy full of powerful aliens and advanced machines, one human mind could triumph where many thought it impossible. And in that moment, Mira Dalton knew that the true strength of her species was not in weapons, not in armor, but in something far more enduring: the human spirit, the human mind, and the human edge. The galaxy had taken notice, and there was no turning back.